I read a study that said that in most black communities, 80% of calls are service calls. I read that study, but in talking to most officers, especially officers who are not of color, don't feel that way. In other words, they feel that they have to stop crime and, you know, service and running after the bad guy. I'm just saying I read it. I didn't say I did it. But I find that interesting. My experience was it was a lot of service. A lot of the service, if it was provided, prevented the next step. And I think the problem in police work, you were talking about, it's not an exact science. No, it's not. Is that a lot of officers come into these communities with certain attitudes that, it's high crime. Just like I was giving an example earlier, you started giving me what kind of community is it, is it mixed and what have you, what have you. It's a nice community. But I think people have a preconceived notion mainly because they're not from those communities. And I think it's very important. When I worked in non-black community, when I worked in almost white community, it's a whole different temperament. It's just a whole different temperament. When you work in the black community, it is tense because of the historical adversarial relationship. And I think that's why we're here today, because that's what's in the news. That's what's causing police to
So
all
what
of
do
a sudden killing a lot of
what are
people.
you advocating? Are you
I'm
want all
asking
black
a
officers in
question.
the black districts, all
Well,
Hispanic and the Hispanic?
now that you asked the question, in most white communities, most of the officers are white. And so maybe it wouldn't hurt to see if how that worked. I'm just saying. Uh, why is it that in communities where the people are like, you don't have as much friction?